So it doesn't seem to matter how many times I do it. This particular thing happens to me a lot. Still, during the washing, because there's still, you know, even if there's white canvas here and I'm working up here, that can blind me too much and I won't go dark enough with my washing. So I had to repaint all of this with paint thinner again. And what did I use? Alizarin and Crimson, Burnt Sienna, Yellow Ochre. I don't even know if I used white up here. Maybe a hint, probably a hint of it. Just to tone it down. Because I'm going to have some individual bunches of grass and the odd blade of grass or scrub that's going to stand out. So I need to leave distance between some of my brush strokes. The values that I'll end up with are pretty much the values that were there when I washed it in. So I really needed to lay it in dark, and it's good now. Now when I lay my brush strokes in, you'll be able to very clearly see brush strokes that I choose to keep separated slightly from each other, even a little bit, without black lines between each blade of grass, so to speak, or clump of grass, but much lower in value at least, so we have more of a broken area. Water's finished. I haven't highlighted this tree yet. These couple, they're shaped how I want them. They're ready for me to lay some paint in there. I'm going to go cold and dark to the right here, and down here will be a bit cooler, and then we're going to warm up quite a bit when we start to jump up into our tree and shoot off to the sky. I'll just give you a little close-up here of these rocks. For me, it's one of my favorite things to do, is to puzzle together in my head rocks and then paint them. But it takes a lot of thought, and it's a slow process for me anyway. So I didn't take you with me for that because, oops, sorry, I didn't want a camera looking over my shoulder. I often don't actually like that, but anyway, this will give you some idea of my thinking. See, just the top of that one showing behind the rocks, farther down on the bank. This one's much closer to us. Trying to keep them not symmetrical, you know, these little trees. Some degree of rhythmic symmetry, but definitely not directly symmetrical. These rocks on the left, they start to catch a little bit of light. Maybe it's a little more ambient light for the time being, but as we move off to the left, I will likely allow them to catch some sunlight. How much exactly I will determine once I'm painting in the foreground down here. Those rocks I've used, those are almost exclusively raw umber, ultramarine blue, and white. Hints of yellow ochre here. I've added bits of alizarin crimson in place so they become a little more pinky purple, just to try to give some, you know, not just variety in design, but some variety in the color itself in the rock. So that's good. You know, it's sort of a long run of rocks, but it's interrupted by this trunk, of course, and it's almost interrupted by this decaying log that points right at this little crevice here that allows the light from the water to show through. Then it's completely interrupted on the right, so we don't have just a line running right across our painting. Okay, I'll back up here. You can see the thing as a whole, which still looks kind of, well, it looks like it's partly done, which is exactly what it is. So I'm going to work on these trees on the right here, on the right hand side. I'm not going to do it right now, but that's next time you see that. See it, these little trees down here will be done. Possibly even the ones on the lower right will be done. Possibly even on the left hand side. Not the two main ones. Likely leaving those a little bit yet. I bought a toy this morning. It's totally the wrong kind of light. Totally. However, just because I want to see what it looks like on film, I'm going to subject you to, let's see, 200, no, what is it, 2,500 lumens? It's not the right color, but it sure gives a lot of light. I actually bought it for over in my little shop attached to the house, because I like to play out there a fair bit, and I need good light. Table saw, motorcycle, you know, all those sort of little things that a person fiddles with. Might be a bit blinding for in here. That's okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, guys. See you later.